Hello everybody, welcome back to Theje's Notebook Review. What I'm reviewing today is the Dell Precision M4600. No, it isn't Dell's latest offering, far from it in fact. What I'm reviewing this notebook for is to settle that age-old question of, is buying an older high-performance notebook going to be good enough for me? Well, let's find out. Since this notebook was purchased used, there's no unboxing footage this time around. This particular notebook didn't even come with an AC adapter, I had to get that separately. What I can tell you here though is that the lid does open with one hand and the 180 watt AC adapter stretches for a comfortable 8 feet. This then is the Dell Precision M4600. It was released a few years ago and comes packed with the Intel Sandy Bridge Core i7-2760QM CPU, rated up to 3.5 GHz, the Nvidia Quadro 2000M workstation GPU with 2 gigs of DDR3 VRAM, not to be confused with the newer M2000M, 8 gigs of DDR3 memory, a 256 gig Samsung Performance SSD, all underneath a 15.6-inch 1080p matte display powered by a massive 12-cell 6600 mAh battery. As for battery life, I can't say for sure what that is. Gaming lasted for about an hour and 15 minutes, while it kept alive streaming video for just under 2 hours. Those numbers are underwhelming, but it could just be the battery showing its age. Let's see what all those holes on the side do. On the front we have a nice chrome release for the display. On the right we have the Wi-Fi toggle, hard drive slot, 2 USB 3.0 ports, and a dual-link display port. On the back we have the dual vents, VGA, gigabit LAN, eSATA USB combo port, and HDMI. On the left we get a lock slot, 2 USB 2.0 ports for a total of 5 USBs, FireWire, mic and headphones in, SD card slot, express card and smart card slots, and a slot-loading DVD/RW drive. The whole bottom cover comes off of the Precision to reveal 2 memory slots, 2 separate fans, an exposed Wi-Fi card, a hard drive that slides out of the side of the body after you unscrew the release, an available WWAN slot, and a DMC slot where you can install a 1x1 card for wireless display capabilities. Wi-Fi reception on the Dell Precision was very good thanks to the Intel 6200 wireless N card. The entire body of the M4600 is covered by the same shiny aluminum. It will get stained easily by the oil on your fingers, but the main body around the keyboard is tough and won't flex easily. The keyboard on the Precision is really nice to use. Despite its age, the labels on the keys show no signs of wear, and it looks just as new as the day it rolled out of the factory. This model has a white backlight with 4 brightness levels, and the numpad perfectly resembles a desktop keyboard with an extra wide 0 key. It will take some getting used to coming from a chiclet keyboard, but it didn't miss any of my strokes at the fault of the keyboard, and the action has a rich, throaty tone to it, which is satisfying, but not that stealthy. The touchpad on the Dell is almost as good as they come. I don't understand the third middle button, but then again, I don't do 3D modeling, and it might have more functions there. As for me, my muscle memory planted my thumb on the middle button often, but it was easy to correct after a while. Physical buttons are a joy and the action is predictable, however the left click here is less audible than the right, most likely due to many years of use. And unfortunately, the nub in the middle of the keyboard was too worn to use predictably. Oh well. The display on the Dell M4600 is pretty good. The viewing angles are a bit wider than average, but this ain't no IPS, and the colors still warp at relatively close angles. At least it tilts back very far, allowing you to find a comfortable viewing angle on your lap. The colors run slightly warm here, the gamma is higher than most, same for the brightness level, and thanks to the matte finish, this notebook is suitable for outside use on a cloudy day. On the other side of the spectrum, it still gets comfortably dim for a dark room. The speakers here are also pretty good, but not quite a treat. They get just loud enough to fill a room, but the spectrum is biased towards the treble range. Thankfully, the output is crisp and not shrill, but I do find myself longing for just a little bit more bass. Nonetheless, gaming and watching video is a pleasant experience and doesn't beg for headphones. The bass in Rage Against the Machine's Calm Like a Bomb is audible, and the deep bass in A Perfect Circle's The Package is practically non-existent. At least there's no unnecessary software to deal with here. system performance of this Precision is quite skippy thanks to the performance-oriented Samsung SSD. Read speeds creep up to just past 500 megs a second, which is comparable to my desktop's Crucial Performance SSD. Web browsing is satisfyingly responsive, and load times, especially while gaming, are kept to a minimum. Peripherals like my external keyboard and mouse installed by themselves without skipping a beat, but I did have to visit Device Manager for the Xbox One controller. On to gaming. Normally, you shouldn't rely on workstation graphics cards for gaming. They're used mostly for 3D modeling applications or medical visual aids. But I'm a gamer, and the Quadro 2000M can be used for gaming, so that's what I tested. Overall, the performance kills the integrated Intel GPU hands down, but the age of the notebook is very obvious. What you're looking at is gaming performance akin to the modern 940M GPU, which puts the value per polygon right alongside notebooks equipped with said graphics unit. Playing Diablo in the native resolution of 1080p in any detail level was a chore, so I toned down the settings here and in other titles to low, at either 1680 by 1050 or even 1440 by 900 resolutions. It's not to say that the frame rates aren't tolerable, it's just not a bang for your buck situation that you might be expecting. Again, it's still a whole world better than Intel's integrated GPU. With that in mind, the temperatures can get pretty high, although this particular notebook ran pretty cool thanks to its SSD, and the fans even spooled down at times during gameplay. It won't get uncomfortably warm for your lap, but something to keep in mind is that the battery refuses to power the Quadro by its lonesome. You'll have to be tethered to the wall in order to receive any extra processing benefits. For the bottom line, if you know you'll be going to school soon for 3D modeling and are looking for a workstation-class notebook, don't let the M4600 out of your sight. You might have assumed that you'll need a $1,500 budget for a notebook PC, but nope, you're wrong. This Dell will suit you just fine. Just make sure that you get the Quadro 2000M. It has significantly more power than the 1000M. I'd also take this notebook over anything modern with a 940M. You just can't beat the build quality. In conclusion, students can pass it up if you're not going to school for architecture or machinery-ing. It's pretty heavy on the shoulder and the battery life is lower than average. But if you are going to some expensive video game school, well, then I suppose you just need to reevaluate your life decisions. That's just something you need to learn to do in your own time, and you're wasting your parents' money. Shame on you. Casual gamers will enjoy this Precision. It has just enough power to play whatever you want, and then excellent system performance and a great user experience for when you're having less fun doing whatever else. Competitive gamers should look for something a little bit newer, with more gigaflops. Or something with at least a gigaflop. Desktop replacement seekers totally get my thumbs up. Plenty of system performance, a nice display, an excellent keyboard, and a capable professional GPU make this a great PC to tackle literally anything and everything you have to throw at it, even amateur 3D modeling. Home users can skip out on this guy. It's a bit heavy to cart around the house, and the need for a wall socket will wear on you. It has its merit as a cheap, reliable PC, but you can do better with a modern laptop in the same price range. This has been a review of the Dell Precision M4600 here on Theje's Notebook Review. Go ahead and thumbs me up, ask your questions down below, and please share this video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and you guys, have a good night.